Is Park Circle the best place to live in Charleston? No, not by far. It's not the best place to live in Charleston. That's a trick question because Park Circle is in North Charleston, and it is a good place to be for several reasons. As a matter of fact, did you know that Park Circle boasts one of the best places to take your kids on a rainy day? You'll see at the end. Okay, let's start. In this video, I'll show you exactly where it is, and as far as living in Park Circle, you'll get a good feel for that too, so stay till the end. I'll begin with a 5,000-foot look so we can understand the layout. So this is downtown Charleston, and it's a beautiful place with tons of history. South of Broad is filled with restored mansions and charming single-family homes with colorful rooftops. Downtown Charleston is a gorgeous place, and being able to jump down there anytime and enjoy Charleston is a massive reason to live here. Now, we've got the Battery where the Ashley River meets the Charleston Harbor. We've got these amazing mansions and this raised walkway that overlooks James Island and the beaches. White Point Gardens here is a really nice place too. This used to be ground zero for the Civil War, so it's steeped in history. And if we fast forward a few blocks, we'll run right into the Waterfront Park, which looks across the Cooper River to Mount Pleasant. We've got a few colleges down here. I actually just dropped my daughter off at the College of Charleston. She was just born yesterday, and now she's in college.
Love you too.
I'll see you later.
Get good grades.
Okay.
So my oldest has moved out. It's not far, but we miss her already. Again, the Charleston Peninsula here is where I like to start these tours. And if you aren't familiar and you're moving here and want to see all of Charleston, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do Charleston deep dive videos so you can make good decisions about what part of town is best for you and your family. In fact, I have this not on YouTube tour video. It shows all of the areas, and you'll find it on the home page of my website here at natwallen.com. So if you want to see the whole area, fill out this form and you'll get it right away via email. Okay, I am planning on getting to Park Circle, but first, this part of Charleston is referred to as the Neck. And then this is the Battery, which we just saw, and out here is the harbor. And here's the Ashley River, and this side is the Cooper. And Park Circle is way up here. And as Charleston became more popular, Wagner Terrace here in uptown Charleston, which again is referred to as the Neck, it started with quite a bit of infill. Older homes getting fixed up, new properties popping up on the market, and all of these are bikeable to downtown where all the history is. And in the early 2000s, well, we started seeing prices in Wagner Terrace and North Central here and Hampton Park Terrace near the Citadel start to really climb. And from a buying real estate perspective, this started the trend to move outwards from downtown, which brings us to the Noisette project. Now, it was a very comprehensive plan that was started in North Charleston in 2001 to reinvigorate and basically redevelop 2,000 acres in the old town of North Charleston, or affectionately known today as Park Circle. Now, there's quite a bit that I could talk about with Noisette, but rather than bore you with too many development details, let's take a look at a PDF courtesy of citycraftventures.com. So this shows the change to Park Circle between 2001 and 2012. And if we focus in on item number 3, it clearly says the X and Y generations are moving in. You should pause the video to take a closer look. This is interesting. I'll count down. Pause on 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, pause. As a real estate agent, we're not allowed to really comment on age, race, gender, family status because, well, who really cares about all that? People are people, all makes and models. But it is safe to say cool people have come to Park Circle since then, and it's really an engaging community. Mind if I just get a quick view from this side?
Yeah, man, it's a little dirty over here, but
well, I'll just kind of
get a undirty video.
Perfect. Yeah, that's nice. Some steam.
Heck yeah.
So how do you get there? Well, again, here's downtown Charleston. This is the Ashley River Bridge. And this whole area here is West Ashley. So this is my place, the one Bella moved out of. It's about 10 minutes from downtown. And if we zip over, we can see the bridge over the Ashley River into North Charleston. And Park Circle is just a few minutes away. And this is the Ashley River here. Interesting fact, this is a world famous megalodon shark tooth hunting place. So this used to be a bed, you know, millions of years ago. There were 100-foot sharks in this Ashley River, and people go scuba diving up here and look for these giant shark's teeth, which are like the size of baseballs or larger. Kind of interesting. So we'll cross over the Cosgrove Bridge, we'll go another mile or so, and then we'll cross over Rivers Avenue here. There we go. And eventually we'll run into Sproul Avenue, and we'll take a left here. But before that, take note of this entire area along the edge of the waterfront. Let me get my drone pilot to lift up for a bit. So that whole area in the distance is the old Navy base. There is a lot going on there, and one of the best music festivals in Charleston can be found right there. And if you've seen the HBO series Righteous Gemstones with Danny McBride, you'll recognize one of the places they filmed season 1. So I'll show you toward the end. And even one of the coolest parks around is right over there, which a lot of people come to Charleston and miss. And with that said, I have created a self-guided GPS tour system. So it's an app that I built that will take you to all of these spots on your own. So if you really want to get to know the cool places in Charleston, look for this self-guided GPS tour link. It's right on my site here at natwallen.com. So that will get you the app so you can see all that Charleston has to offer in your own time. I'll link it in the description as well. So we'll cover all of this soon, but for now, let's turn left on Sproul Avenue and head toward Park Circle. Here we go. Okay, here we are starting to see some stuff. This is Noisette Creek, and as we pass over on the left-hand side, we come to the Firefly Vodka Distillery. It's kind of tucked back from the road, and if you pass this sign, well, you've gone too far. The Firefly Distillery, they make vodka, and it's an event space. They've even been hosting some outdoor concerts. My daughter Bella, she saw Fleet Foxes there, and there have been many others that I may or may not know about. Every weekend they're playing music there, it seems. But back on Sproul, we'll take a right at this sign to find Holy City Brewery. And we've been down here on the weekend many times. They host some outdoor festivals, and as you can see by their calendar, let me show you on their website, they seem to have something going on every day and lots of live music too. And again, if you pass this sign, you've gone too far. And right next to the brewery, you can pay a visit to Stardust Tattoo for a more permanent memory of Park Circle. All right, let's move on. There's also this really cool little coffee van called Profit Coffee. Bryson is the owner. He actually built out this little coffee van on his own, and pretty soon you'll find his new permanent residence right here as well. So I assume you'll be able to spot his coffee van regardless. So let's stop in for a visit.
Yo, what's up, Nat?
How are you?
Doing great, man. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you too.
What you thinking today?
I'm thinking maybe coconut cold brew.
Deal.
Easy. This is the coolest van.
I appreciate it, dude. Yeah.
So you built this yourself?
I did. It's a 1996 Subaru Sandbar Classic, Japanese, right-hand drive, left-hand stick.
Thank you, sir.
Heck yeah.
So what's your plan? You're coming in next door pretty soon, aren't you?
I am. We're opening up a shop, hopefully the end of this month, September, but probably looking like beginning of October. But yeah, we're gonna be right here, about 50 feet away.
Will the van still be here so people can notice it?
We're gonna put the van out front. We'll park it out, you know, maybe point it towards the new shop. It'll definitely always be involved, just kind of a staple of the business.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Great to see you.
You too.
For sure.
So we've seen some pretty cool elements so far, and you're probably getting the vibe of Park Circle already, and we really haven't even hit the best part yet. We've got a cool place called The Station, which is a retro shop for home goods and art. We've been to some craft fairs here over the holidays. This is a good spot to check out local artisans. There are a lot of local artists in Park Circle, and they'll come here and set up their booths, sell their art and their jewelry and things like that. And if you're getting hungry and it's the evening, right next door we've got Jackrabbit Philly, which is an Asian fusion kind of place. It is really good. One of Charleston's best restaurants. It's worth a reservation. Jackrabbit Philly. Okay, what's next? We will get to the main downtown area here in a bit, and here's a little preview. I call it a Mayberry type of Main Street, which definitely ages me, but you'll see coming up that it's very walkable and a friendly place with several great restaurants and shops. In fact, I'll take you to EVO later in the video where they make some of the best pizzas in Charleston. But for now, before we get to town, let's explore some neighborhoods. So I'm going to cut through Quarterman Park here. People call it the duck pond. Let's take a little 30-second breather and enjoy this for a minute. Now this is the circle, hence the name Park Circle, and the neighborhood kind of radiates from this central point. And the downtown area here is at the end of East Montague, but we're going to kind of take a look at this whole circle area, and we're going to kind of catch the perimeter. And one really cool thing about the circle here is that there's an 18-hole Frisbee golf course, and it's pretty popular here. It gets kind of filled up on the weekends. And I do try and stay away from talking prices in these videos since they do tend to change over time. But if you want an up-to-date look at what's for sale, just go to the North Charleston section of natwallen.com. Let me show you. So here's the home page, and then we'll scroll down to where it starts to turn white. And right below where it says Become a Local Expert is where you'll find North Charleston. Let me open it up here. And now we'll click this second Homes by Category icon and look for Park Circle. So this is everything currently for sale listed with all of the real estate companies in Charleston, and they should all be available because we don't show properties under contract on my site. So let me show you a property I sold to a family that was living down in Mexico. They found me on the YouTube channel. But they bought two properties side by side, and they're in the process of making it an artist retreat of sorts, maybe some short-term rentals coming soon. Okay, back to Charleston's original traffic circle. As you can see, currently they're building out a brand new park, and the roads that surround this circle host some large and very established homes from the 50s and 60s, and then they spawn off, like I said, from there. Let's take a look at Mixon. It's on the far side of Park Circle, and it was actually started by the same company that built the very popular Ion subdivision. And if you haven't seen the Mount Pleasant video, I will link it in the description, but Ion is a favorite Mount Pleasant neighborhood that inspired Mixon. And as you can see, Ion is a very villagey, interconnected neighborhood, very close to town in Mount P. And this is the first high-density, highly walkable community that started in the early 2000s, and the same developers actually started Mixon. And it began as a much smaller version of Ion, and plans have changed over time. They went bankrupt, and it came up as a different type of neighborhood in the end. And so all that remains is this small cluster of buildings in the center here. And there's this great little grocery where you can get some good local stuff to pop in the oven or a cup of coffee. And they even created this private pool club. And it's open nearly year-round, and they have cabanas and a gym and yoga. This is a super walkable area, and there are some great local businesses here that are really doing well now. In fact, let me show you one of the best places to buy a little pot around here. And pull back. So this is called Roadside Blooms. And the owners are super knowledgeable, and it's a good place to go if you're, like I said, looking to buy a little pot or some specialty house and garden plants.
Yeah, so my name is Tony Reale, and I have been in business with Roadside Blooms since 2012.
Do you live in Park Circle?
Yes, I live in Park Circle with my husband and two small boys. They're 6 and 8, and they attend a local public Montessori school. We've lived in Park Circle for about 8.5 years. I love this community so much. I love being able to ride my bike to work, which I did this morning. Can't say that I do that all the time, but I did this morning. I love being able to walk our dogs up to the coffee shop and run into neighbors.
And let me show you more of the new part of Mixon. Again, it's changed over time, so here we go. All right, that's mixing. While we're on this side of the circle, let's take a look now at two of Charleston's charter schools. So both the Academic Magnet and the School of the Arts share the same facility here. We actually have a good friend who teaches there, and several of Bella's friends attend School of the Arts as well. And schools have certainly changed since I was growing up, and it's important to know what these are, these charter schools. So anyone in Charleston County can attend, and because of that reason, there's a list and a lottery for both of these schools. So make sure and do your homework if you're buying in Park Circle, because there is not a guarantee that your children will get into either one of these schools. But not to worry, there are some county schools in Park Circle here that I've heard good things about as well. So there's this elementary school here, and we'll see the high school as we get closer to downtown. Oak Terrace Preserve is another popular neighborhood on the Mixon side of the circle, and it features many of the traditional Charleston single-style homes that you'll see downtown, and also peppered in are some modern designs. And contemporary homes, they're kind of hard to find in Charleston, so it's nice to see these here. All right, let's make our way back to the other side of Park Circle. So we'll cross over the park here. And then here's downtown. There are several bars and restaurants. And like I said, we're going to stop in for a pizza at EVO toward the end. And hopefully the day ends with some nice clouds and a good sunset. The place glows really nicely on a summer evening. It's late August as I'm making this video. But for now, let's zip over and take a look at some of the very immediate homes close to East Montague here, which again is the main downtown street. That's East Montague. Okay, as you can see, there are some really nice bungalow-style places that are right around the corner, and just a really charming place. It just kind of oozes with charm. And if you look really closely, you'll see lots of urban infill in this area. It's a very hot place, like these Charleston single-style new homes here. And see this string of lots here? 6 months ago, there were 20 trailers here, so it was really kind of old and worn out, and out with the old and obviously in with the new here. And many of these properties in this immediate area, they have Airbnbs. And real quick, hosting Airbnbs in the city of Charleston and Mount Pleasant too, it is not at all easy. Charleston is a hospitality plan, and the city wants to protect the hotels in the area. So there's some very tight stipulations on Airbnbs that I think are really good protections we have in place. I actually have some clients that recently moved from Austin, and they moved because there were too many Airbnbs that kind of took over their neighborhood, and they felt like they just didn't get close with people as a result. So it was kind of a constant revolving door. So like I said, the city of Charleston, they put the brakes on all of that. And here, though, things in Park Circle, they're much different. This is actually the city of North Charleston, not the city of Charleston. So they're two different entities. And while they are regulated, generally it is much easier to find short-term rental options. And as you've seen, Park Circle is very much a destination because all that there is to see and do and walk and enjoy here. So it's a good place, and there are Airbnbs. Now let's go check out the Old Navy base. Here we go. So the Old Navy base, it started back in 1901, and it was running up until 1996. They closed it due to budget cuts and really the Cold War ending, which was in 96. So it sat dormant for years, but now things are starting to happen down here. And today, more than 90 private, local, state, and federal entities are reusing the former Charleston Naval Complex. And the user mix includes shipyards and marine manufacturing companies and coast breweries and water mission and other similar smaller companies and even nonprofits. And remember, we talked about what to do on a rainy day. Well, first off,
I'm here at the Old Navy base, and right behind me is the old powerhouse. It's an old dilapidated building. I believe scenes from The Righteous Gemstones, Danny McBride HBO series. I believe they filmed part of season 1 here. And that's one of the good things about Charleston is there's so much happening here. We've actually become sort of the Hollywood of the South. And he actually brought a big group of people down here. I saw the Smartless podcast. Danny, if you're watching this, thanks for coming to Charleston. It's super cool. Love your shows. Love your characters. Awesome stuff. Let's keep going.
Rainy days in Charleston. Remember, we talked about what to do on a rainy day? A great place to bring the kids. A trip to see the Hunley. Again, it's a great way to learn about a key part of naval history. And the USS Hunley, it was the first submarine to sink an enemy ship in naval history. So the H.L. Hunley, it was a small vessel that operated during the American Civil War, and it attacked the Union ship Housatonic with a spar torpedo on February 17th, 1864. So the Hunley sank the ship, but it also sank shortly thereafter and killing all its 8 crewmen. So very courageous historical event here, the first submarine that sunk a ship in battle. And again, it was lost at sea for over a century until it was found by a novelist, Clive Cussler, in 1995. And I remember it was a big deal when it was raised in 2000.
Look at that. Look at that just hanging there. Hooray! You know, oh gosh, after all this time and to see it happen and with all this going on, you know, that it's there, you know, one of the great pieces of American history.
After 20 years of dedicated searching by Clive and his team, the Hunley is raised for all the world to see.
It was taken to a conservation center here in North Charleston where it underwent extensive research and preservation. And you can come and learn all about it while dodging raindrops right here near Park Circle at the Old Charleston Naval Base. All right, let's go take a quick look at Riverfront Park. And on the way there, let me show you part of what the Charleston Naval Complex Redevelopment Authority is doing. So these old homes here, they've been sitting since the base closure in 1996. And I'm not sure why our government would let these homes wither on the vines like they did, but here we are almost 30 years later, and we are starting to see new life. So they start by doing a structural study of these old buildings to see what they have to work with. Now this one was done in 2013, and then they make their designs from these studies, and they started fixing it in 2016, and it took 2 years, and now they're making their way through the rest of these buildings. Like this one here, they started the study on in 2011, and it had multiple phases. It's a big property, and they completed it in 2015. And you know, that's one of the really good things about this whole region. We have so much history here in Charleston, and preservation is a big part of living here. So they study it, they look at the history, and they bring it all back as closely as possible. And there are some very talented tradesmen in Charleston for all of these reasons. And there's even a trades college downtown. Let me show you. So they teach young people that want to get into the delicacies of working with all of this plaster and old construction techniques. So it's a college downtown. But enough of the history. Let's look at modern day. So there are some really good events that happen here, like the High Water Festival. It happens once a year. Let's take a look at a little footage courtesy of the High Water YouTube channel. Shovels and Rope, they are a local band that has made a pretty big name for themselves. Here we go. And you should subscribe to their channel here, High Water Festival channel here. I'll link it at the end. Again, this is their video. Let me play it for you. Here we go.
Looking for a feeling I can't find. No barren wasteland like the back of my mind. Maybe it's just that I never really made the time. Maybe it's selfish of me to feel like I'm always being robbed of mine. Oh, oh. Sing you something from the good old days. The hairpin turn, the clean white page. It's my solemn review. Ooh. Let a little time go by. Let old dog fly. Try, try, try. sing you something from the good old days. A hairpin turn, a clean white page, it's my solemn review. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I wish that you could see her, I wish you could have stayed. Now you've been reborn, I'm still a mouse in a maze, and I'm singing out to you.
Okay, there's the High Water Festival. This park has so much to offer. And I will say this, Mayor Keith Sumney, he has done a really great job of making sure that North Charleston not only continues to improve, but he has just helped curate so many great changes over the years. And he really took this place from being a major eyesore when the base closed to really being one of Charleston's hottest locations. So good job, Mayor Sumney.
One of the best parts of Park Circle and North Charleston in general is the Riverfront Park, and a lot of people don't know, but there's a great restaurant here. It's a perfect place to come on a Friday night. You'll find it in the self-guided GPS tour, which again is linked in the description. Take a look.
All right, let's wrap this up with a closer look of downtown Park Circle. I really like this place. So this is East Montague, and like I said before, there are several great restaurants and shops. The orange spot here is a good place for your morning coffee. There's the Park Circle Athletic Club right next door. There's a place called Dig in the Park. This is a pretty cool Airbnb nearby, but I will say I had a friend stay there. It can get a little noisy with nightlife, but a good place to stay during the week for sure. But this is a great Airbnb right here, this whole building. I've heard really good things about this restaurant here, Three Sirens. I'm going to try it soon. A block over is a place called the Tattooed Moose, and this New Orleans outdoor restaurant called Lola here is also a good spot to go. We've also got the Common House Ale Works. It's a kind of a beer garden. And back over on the main street, we've got EVO, which is consistently voted the best pizza in Charleston. So just look for this big mural. That's by David Boatwright. And there's a little bakery on the backside that's also part of EVO. And then we have the main restaurant here right on the corner. So let's go in for a slice. And at the end, I'm going to link you up with a series of 5 short videos that lead to the big Mount Pleasant video, which will show you Ion. So if you want to see Mount Pleasant, stick around to the end. And there's a series of much shorter videos, 5 of them that show really great parts. So if you're in the mood for an afternoon Charleston video binge, watch the video at the end of this, and then you'll see they'll lead into each other. And it's a deep dive, like I said, look at Mount Pleasant. All right, I am getting hungry. If you like this kind of content and need more help getting to know Charleston, do remember to subscribe before you leave. Leave a comment, of course, say hi, thank you. And I like the margarita pizza, fresh farm tomatoes, all of it's locally sourced, so check it out.
How you guys doing? Thanks. Just gonna slide right through here.
Get your pizza.
You got one coming out?
About 700 in the middle, 600, 700 degrees.
Wow.
Embers and stuff can go up to 1300, 1600.
Yeah.
It's all wood.
It's all wood?
The only mechanical thing we have in here is a fan to suck up all the soot and everything.
Cool.
A little bit of tan.
Sorry. Are you the cutter?
Yep.
Yum.
And on the pistachio, we got a little
Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Beautiful. Bring me there.
I don't know if I did that right or what it looks like.
I'm sure it's great.